Welcome to 10 Minutes, everybody. I'm going to build off a post I just seen Rob Dial put up. So it's based on, are you a giver? And if you're a person who gives time and you give a lot of things, whether it's money, whether it's, material things, but the biggest thing is people give up time and they try to help people over and over and over again. And, what you should realize is that the takers, they don't have limits. They'll take as much as you'll give. Often, the relationship's only based on the fact that you're giving them value and that you're actually doing something for them. So at the end of the day, you have to take on the responsibility of building boundaries and making sure you don't give more than you should to any given person that's not necessarily giving back to you. So learn to do that balance. I'm going to dive into some more here, but this was the short. So, in my opinion, you can be a giver and you actually give during cuddle huddle time, which I've talked about previously. But you're giving your time and effort to somebody who actually doesn't appreciate what you're saying to them, doesn't actually want to make the changes and adjustments, and those people, they should be put really close in your boundary of not wasting your time on them. You can still be available. The time in their life might come where you can lean in and help them and they're really ready. But if you notice that you're having the same conversations and you're giving advice and you're giving time, but they're not taking that in and actually making adjustments, they just enjoy the camaraderie or they enjoy the conversation, but they're not taking action, find something else to do with your time, which might be just actually experiencing fun things or doing fun things rather than having deep conversation. Save deep conversation and real brain power and effort for the people who are actually going to learn and do something with it. The other thing is with money, same thing. I don't really give money without getting value, very rarely, unless it's an act of kindness to mostly complete strangers or people of service, things of that nature. But to just kind of give people money that are in your circle or close to you, or continue to spend money on people, that's a slippery slope too, because you don't really know who your friends are then, or who's really in it for the connection and the real relationship. So, that again, that's part of them boundaries. You don't end up having to worry about that. The part of investing and spending money and doing all these things. Do they only hang out with me because I can afford to do all these fun things and they get to come along? If you don't really provide that all the time, and it's a once in a while pop just because you want to be, generous or whatever, but you can weed out the thoughts of, are they just around me for money or knowledge or whatever, and they really add value and they want to connect. But we often find like a small pocket of people to spend our time with that just continuously use it up. So when you think about maybe some of the aspirations I personally have, which is changing a lot of people's perspective, changing a lot of how people live their life, both how they lead at their in business, how they lead in life. You don't really have time to spend with people who are not taking action to get things done. And everybody will take a feel-good conversation. Everybody will take a cuddle huddle to some degree. It's just, when does that convert into actually making a difference and proving out your purpose of why you're spending time doing the things you do in life? And you might not even know why you do things, but again, it comes down to, this whole thing started with takers and givers. If you're a giver, in whatever aspect you give, set boundaries. Make sure that you really do step back and understand the value coming from that generosity and that time or money or whatever you're giving. And then make sure that the takers are in their proper places and you're giving them all the proper amount of time. And nobody should ultimately be a full-time taker. They should be given to you. They should be given value back. And As long as that's happening and you kind of flow back and forth with the value, even if it's just the camaraderie and connection, then you're in the right place and you're with the right people. Have a good day. Gotta get the phone.